Welcome to Fantasy or Reality, the GPP. Whatever road you took to get here doesn't matter. What matters is you're here. And my hope is that we all can help one another in this journey. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Steve. My last data bet was 5/2/21. Sorry, it's been a little while since I've been back here recording another episode. It's been a few weeks. Last week, my throat was killing me. I lost my voice. I probably don't even fully have it back now. Um, I was just speaking with my wife and I, we were speaking to another reporter about potentially doing another news story. I guess because, the sports betting has just been exploding these days. Um, but, anyways, I'm not going to get too much into that until I know what's actually happening with that. But I feel like I've lost my voice even more, so I apologize if I sound even more raspy or sickly than normal over here. Um, but I really wanted to get in here and record something and just touch base with you guys. It's been a few weeks since I put an episode out. It's been close to a month since I put one out solo. I really enjoy doing these solo episodes. I really like the interviews, and I've got a different kind of format I'm going to do occasionally here and there with a friend of mine I'm looking forward to doing. But I really enjoy doing these solo episodes. So, yeah, I guess I'll just kind of touch base with what's been going on the last few weeks. Yeah, I'm coming up on a year here. It's April 6th. I just hit my 11 months a few days ago. It's kind of crazy to think back on how much has changed over the last year. Like I just said, my wife and I were talking to another reporter and kind of going over the first days of when everything happened. And it's crazy to think back how much has changed since then. I mean, a lot of work has gone into this last year, and a lot of work still has to go on. Life is not perfect. I don't want to make it seem like I'm King Recovery over here and, everything's all good, all perfect, because it's not. There are some tough days still. Um, my wife still has a hard time trusting a lot of things, and I understand why. Um, certain situations can sometimes come up and can send her back to day one sometimes. And that's just one of those things I have had to come to terms with, have had to learn to work through. And I feel bad that that continues to happen to her, but we definitely have more good days than bad. Um, and like I said, we have a very strong relationship, and I'm very happy with where we are today. But it's a constant struggle. It's a constant work. I don't have urges. I don't have any desire to want to go back gambling, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing here. Um, Another reason why I haven't been on in the last few weeks, I mean, aside from the fact that I lost my voice last week and my throat kind of hurts, and I've been going through halls like they're friggin' Tic Tacs over here. Um, yeah, I've been, like I said in my last solo episode, I'm really trying to find the balance in everything. I'm trying to, s- you know, I don't want to, recovery has to come near the top. It's got to be important. But family, to me, at least for myself, this is not for anybody else. I'm not saying that this is what you have to do, but this is what works for me. Like family has got to come first for me. I know a lot of people say recovery has to come first. I have two young boys, and I know that without this recovery and what I've done, I could not be the father I am today to them, and I couldn't be the husband I am today to my father. My father, I couldn't be the husband to my wife I am today without recovery. Um, Excuse me here. um, but I've been choosing to spend time where I may have done a podcast or may have done a meeting with my kids or my wife. Um, for a long time, I was doing Monday, Tuesday, every week without fail on meetings. and I would do a podcast every single week. And I'm always going to continue to do these things. I'm always going to continue to do this podcast. I don't want to have these 2.5 week lapses. I'm going to try to do them every week, at least every 2 weeks. I'm not going to stop doing this. I enjoy doing this podcast. I enjoy talking with you guys and girls. And this really helps me a lot to come on here and talk. And, but, I really feel like I want to, all this is, obviously to make me feel better and make me work through my problems with addiction and my issues I've had with addiction, gambling and otherwise. Um, but I want to be there for my kids too. There have been a few times where my son will ask, are you going on another meeting? And I've made it a point to not do podcasts or meetings anymore if they're awake. They typically go to bed. Man, I apologize for the coughing. I just have had some serious issues here. It's not COVID, you know, but man, oh man, it's been annoying the last 2 weeks. But anyways, like I said, you know, I don't want my kids to ever think I'm choosing anything over them. And I'm sure as they get older, they will understand what all this is about. But they're kids right now. They don't understand. They just see you doing something that's not with them. So I choose a lot of times to just sit with them, joke with them, have fun with them, be silly with them. And if that means pushing a podcast off for a week or missing a meeting, it's okay. No matter what, I make one meeting a week. I've got a great group of guys I talk with every single Monday. And, but there are even times where I may have to miss that meeting, because it's at 7:30 on a Monday. And, I want to be there for my kids. I want to be there for my wife. And, I don't feel like I need to do a meeting every, multiple times a week, or I don't know. I used to go to therapy every single week. Now I'm, going once a month. But that doesn't mean I think these things are not important. They're very important. They literally have helped me so much over this last year, and I will always continue to do them. Um, but for me, it's come to a point where I don't need to do therapy every week. I don't need to do multiple meetings a week. And that's something you're going to have to decide for yourself, what you're going to have to do at different points in your recovery and the stages that you're in. You have to make those decisions. It's good to talk to others about those decisions with your wife, with your fellow, group members, whatever group you're in. But yeah, so it's 9:19 at night right now on a Wednesday, and I was a little tired, but and I wanted to jump in the shower, and obviously my voice doesn't sound so great. I knew this probably isn't going to be the best podcast, but this is, the kids are in bed, they're sleeping, and I just this is when I can sit down and do these things, and like I talk about, man, it's about balance. It's about gaining that balance back. As an addict, it's like all or nothing for us. Man, I apologize for these coughs. Um, and that's a big thing that I've, learned over time, and I'm not perfect, is learning that balance. Whether it was drug addiction or gambling addiction or even working out like crazy or playing music like crazy or 1,000 other things, I would go all in on. A lot of people in my life know, like, I go all in on everything I've done. And this last year, I'm really learning that balance. And it's like I got to balance my meetings. I got to balance my therapy. I got to balance my recovery stuff with my family life, and uh, as well as playing music and working out. Um, Recently, unfortunately, I can't bring my son to the Y anymore, which really stinks. That was a really great bonding thing for us, but he's got to be a certain age to go there. So um, now I'm, working out at work, so I got to find time for that. So now I'm getting up a half an hour early going to work, stuff like that to do my workouts. I gotta balance things out, time management, all that fun stuff. Um, I'm also learning more patience with myself and with other things. So I was hoping to be recording this podcasts on a new microphone that I just gotten, and for some reason it is not working. And normally that would have made me really pissed off, and it would have been, I probably would have said, "Screw it, I'll record it another time." But I'm back on my old mic, which is probably why you're gonna hear, whatever. You haven't heard the new mic yet, so I was hoping to have the new mic going, but there's been a few issues with it. But I'll get it worked out. It's all right. It's a Blue Yeti, and it looks cool. It looks cool. But I got my first mic here. I started this out on with just a little laptop, and now we got the Mac set up. We got the desk set up. Starting to look like a little studio down here. Um, but yeah, so I'm learning more patience there. I'm learning more patience where if I got to go a few days without working out, I don't go too crazy. I don't go. I want to work out, but if I can't for a couple of days, or I don't have time, or something else is going on, I learned how to not let that affect me in a negative way. Whereas in the past, when I was younger or whatever, when I was working out, I had to go every single day almost. I'd go 6 days a week. I just did the same muscle group 3 days in a week sometimes. It's freaking crazy. Um, but anyways, sorry, rambling here. Normally I write out my, my notes and everything, and I don't sound like my lungs are collapsing over here. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. Yeah, other than that, it's been a good few weeks. I've been training some people at work, and the more I talk to people, I just realize that everyone has got problems. Everyone's got these issues. It may not be a gambling addiction, it may not be a substance addiction, but everyone's got something, man. Like, I just have noticed the more I've talked to people in this community, the more I've talked to people in my life, the more I've been open about my addiction, more people are open to me about their problems and their issues and their addictions. And everyone I've been open to has, you know, either been accepting of this, or, if I'm with them for any period of time, they will open up about their issues also. And that's where I'm kind of beginning to like lean towards seeing addiction and mental health issues. Everyone's got their own intricate things. Gambling is definitely the hidden addiction. It's a lot easier to hide than substance abuses and other mental health issues. But I'm starting to see substance abuse disorder, alcohol use disorder, gambling addiction, and even other mental health issues is almost, you know, I don't want to say, I mean, I guess they are similar in some way. It's all some type of mental health issue that typically has some type of underlying issue. I listened to a lot of videos on a page called the Soft White Underbelly, and it seems like interviews a lot of people with addiction issues, um, and it seems like every one of them have got something that has happened to them in their childhood, or something that has really affected them. And or from what I've had, a lot of my addictive behaviors stem from, either these feelings of not feeling good enough, or not feeling like I'm deserving of the people in my life, or I feel like people are going to leave me, or whatever it is. The escapism of it, that's just how it came out in me, is through addiction, through substance abuse disorder, heroin, cocaine early in my life, and through gambling later in my life. And for some people it's anxiety, for some people it's shopping too much, for some people it's working out too much. We all got something. I used to think I was so unique. I used to think I was the only one that had these problems, or problems like the way I do. And we're not. We all share some struggle in life. And sometimes the person next to you, they just need to hear that they're not alone. They just, you know, I talk about this addiction a lot, and every person I've trained so far at work has opened up about something in their life. And you know, it's great to kind of be that, that person for them that day, that, I'm open about some really deep things in my life that have happened. And a lot of times people open up about their issues that they've had. And I feel like the more we do that with one another, the more connected we'll be with one another. And maybe we won't feel so alone out there. I felt so alone in this gambling addiction. And I don't feel that way anymore. And it's no coincidence that it's come from me sharing my story and being open about who I am today and really accepting who I am today. Um, but, anyways, I'm not going to go too crazy into everything tonight. I don't feel the greatest. This is very annoying having this coughing thing. I apologize again. And here I must have apologized 5 times. I know it drives my wife crazy when I apologize too much, but yeah, Audacity's not working, so I'm recording on Anchor. So I'm not gonna say it again, but hopefully everything comes out all right here. And I promise the next one will be better than this. But I just wanted to come in, say hi. Um, I hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone is staying bet free. I'm real excited that I'm coming up on my year here. If anyone's interested in sharing their story, please reach out. And thanks everybody for listening. I promise the next one will be longer and better than this one. I'll talk to you all soon. Be good to yourselves. Here's where to get help. You can call or text 1-800-522-4700. That's the National Council on Problem Gambling. Or you could call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. This is where I found the link to my therapist through my local counselor. And then also, we cannot forget our affected others. My wife goes to Gam-Anon every week, and it's been a huge help to her. So anyone in your life who you feel like needs help or you've affected through your gambling, you can go to gamanon.org, GAM-ANON.org. The number is 718-352-1671.